Who would have imagined a 78-year-old woman would be here today, discussing such an intimate and delicate subject? When I was younger, this kind of topic was locked away, swept under the rug. Conversations about sex were rare, let alone discussions about how often one should reach climax. But look at how times have shifted. Thankfully, they have. Today, we can speak openly about these issues without taboo or embarrassment, while still showing respect. Believe me, learning about the body is a journey that never grows old. I've always been a curious person, which is why, when I noticed this subject coming up more frequently, I thought, why not address it? Do people truly understand how this impacts health? After all, sexuality is part of who we are, regardless of age, and the well-being it brings reaches far beyond any particular stage of life. Now, before we delve deeper, let me ask, have you ever taken a moment to think about how ejaculation affects the body? I'm not just talking about the act itself, but about what it means for physical, emotional, and even mental health. Many believe it's only about a fleeting moment of pleasure, but there's much more to it. Perhaps you're listening or watching and wondering, is ejaculating every day good for me? Could it have negative effects on my health? Or what if I stop? These questions aren't new, but the answers may surprise you. What fascinates me is how this topic sparks so much curiosity and, at the same time, fear. Let's face it, myths and taboos about the male body and ejaculation have persisted for a long time. I remember hearing in my younger years that if a man wasted his sexual energy, he'd become weak or lose his vitality. It wasn't unusual to see older men concerned about how often they climaxed, as if it were something they could conserve for later. Today, we understand that the human body is more resilient and smarter than that. However, science is still unveiling new findings showing how ejaculation, or even holding back, can affect various aspects of health. This isn't just about pleasure, it also involves longevity, emotional stability, and even disease prevention. Before we go further, take a moment to reflect. What is your relationship with your body? How do you view your sexuality? And more importantly, how do you feel about this topic? Let's try to discuss it without judgment, with an open mind. If there's one thing I've learned in my 78 years, it's that knowledge is empowering. And when it comes to health, including sexual health, it's never too late to learn and improve. Let's shift to a topic that isn't often discussed but deserves our full attention: prostate health. This may seem like a distant concern to some, but believe me, this small gland plays a crucial role in every man's life. Yes, it's closely related to our question, can frequent ejaculation positively impact health? As curious as I am, let's see how closely related to sex life in the Maine Sex Committee lives the actual law. To the surprise of many, they found that it's not only about immediate pleasure, it seems to also support prostate health. So, how exactly does this work? Think about it. The prostate is responsible for creating part of the seminal fluid that protects and transports sperm. When sexual activity or stimulation happens more often, this fluid is produced and released regularly. Now, imagine if all this fluid were to remain stagnant for a long time. There is evidence suggesting that this buildup may not be particularly healthy. Recent research has shed light on an intriguing aspect of male sexual health: the link between ejaculation frequency and the risk of prostate issues, including prostate cancer. Studies indicate that men who keep up a regular routine of ejaculating multiple times a month may have extra protection against developing prostate diseases. Specifically, some studies have shown that ejaculating more than 21 times per month is linked to a lower risk of prostate cancer. The theory behind this is that regular ejaculation helps keep fluids moving through the prostate, potentially preventing the buildup of harmful substances. When semen is released frequently, it can lower the risk of inflammation and other conditions that, over time, could contribute to cancer. This protective effect has been noted in several studies, which compared prostate cancer rates among men with varying levels of ejaculation frequency. They found that those with a more active sex life had a significantly reduced likelihood of developing the disease. Furthermore, frequent ejaculation is also associated with higher production of antioxidants and other helpful compounds that protect prostate cells. These studies give us a valuable perspective on how regular sexual activity can go beyond pleasure, acting as a preventative measure against serious health issues. So maintaining a healthy and balanced routine of ejaculation may be one factor in preserving prostate health as the years go by. Of course, it's essential not to oversimplify. Health always involves multiple factors, including diet, physical activity, and even genetics. This link between sexual frequency and prostate health certainly gives us a lot to think about, doesn't it? Additionally, the feeling of well-being after sexual release isn't just emotional. Ejaculation triggers the release of hormones like prolactin and oxytocin, which are responsible for providing a sense of relaxation and calm. And, let's be honest, feeling at ease and relief has a direct effect on overall health. Once the body releases stored tension, it tends to work more harmoniously. But there's more to consider. As we age, our bodies, including hormonal functions, naturally change, yet keeping an active sex life can help support not only physical health, but also a sense of vitality. This doesn't mean everyone should have an unrestricted sex life. The main point here is to recognize that sexual health is part of the larger picture of overall male well-being. Now, before you draw any conclusions, I'd like to clarify something. Ideal frequency varies from one person to another. What's effective for one individual might not be for another. The key is understanding that allowing the body to move and function naturally can offer benefits that go well beyond temporary pleasure. But what about someone who chooses not to ejaculate as often? Could this choice cause any issues? Let's explore what happens when the body holds on to sexual energy for longer periods. To start, let's clarify what seminal retention means. In essence, it's the practice of avoiding ejaculation during intercourse or for extended periods. Some men adopt this intentionally, either to preserve physical, mental, or even spiritual energy, or to enhance sexual and energy for longer periods. But what about someone who chooses not to ejaculate as often, for subtle energy such as for longer periods? I wanted to include a picture here. But does this practice truly work? Or is it just another passing trend? I know this concept might sound odd to many. Modern society, with its focus on pleasure and immediate satisfaction, rarely discusses the possible benefits of refraining from ejaculation. Yet, this practice has strong supporters who claim that by holding onto this energy, they feel stronger, more focused, and even more masculine. Now, let's address the crucial question: what does science say about this? Is there any physiological basis for this practice, or is it just another fad without substance? The truth is, much research remains to be done. Reports on the advantages of seminal retention are mostly based on personal experiences and anecdotes. Some men say they feel more energetic when they reduce the frequency of ejaculation, experiencing greater mental clarity, reduced fatigue, and a level of sexual energy that keeps them alert and productive. On the other hand, some medical professionals believe that holding semen for too long can cause discomfort, build up tension, and even lead to nocturnal emissions when the body naturally releases excess semen during sleep. For many, the body regulates itself, expelling any surplus as it seems. There's also an emotional aspect to consider. For some, retention can create a feeling of self-consciousness, self-compassion, self-thoughts, and empowerment, while for others, it can lead to frustration, anxiety, and an unnecessary increase in sexual tension. This is where things get tricky, as the ultimate goal is to enhance well-being. Following a practice that leads to more stress than benefit doesn't meet your goal, as the ultimate goal is to enhance well-being. Following a practice that leads to frustration and empowerment is a non-essential. Nevertheless, seminal retention remains a practice that captures the curiosity of many men. Some look to it as a way to distance themselves from societal pressures around sexuality, while others believe it can enhance their sex lives in the long term, giving them greater control over emotions and impulses, whatever the motivation. The important thing is for each man to understand his body and learn what works best for him. There's no single answer. For some, retention may bring clarity and vigor, while for others, regular ejaculation helps keep the body and mind balanced. The key is knowing your limits and not pushing your body towards something that doesn't align with your physical and mental health. Now that we've discussed both perspectives, frequency and retention, it's time to tackle one of the most intricate yet vital parts of sexual health: achieving a balance between body and mind. This may be the hardest part of the issue, as what's beneficial for the body doesn't always align with what the mind needs, and vice versa. When we talk about ejaculation, this balance becomes even more subtle. The balance between body and mind is crucial when considering sexual health and ejaculation frequency. Regular ejaculation can offer benefits like stress relief, improved prostate health, better sleep, a stronger immune system, and elevated mood. This occurs thanks to hormones like oxytocin and prolactin, which create a feeling of relaxation and well-being. However, if done excessively, it can lead to physical fatigue, a temporary drop in testosterone, and emotional exhaustion. On the other hand, seminal retention, the practice of delaying ejaculation for longer periods, is promoted by some as a method for boosting physical energy, enhancing mental clarity, and increasing emotional control. However, holding back too long can also cause frustration, tension, and even physical discomfort, such as nocturnal emissions or testicular pain. In short, both frequent ejaculation and retention have their pros and cons. The most important thing is to find what works best for your body and mind. Each person has their own pace, and respecting your body's signals is key to finding the right balance for fulfilling sexual and emotional health. So here's the big question. What has your experience been with this? Have you noticed how your body reacts in different situations? Are you interested in learning more about how sexual health can affect your overall life? My advice to you, my friends, is to live with wisdom, self-love, and respect for yourself. Whatever path you choose, make sure you do it for yourself, not because someone told you it's right or wrong. That's a lesson I've learned over many years, and I hope in some way it helps you find your own answers. If this discussion has sparked your curiosity, don't miss the chance to keep exploring this subject. Give this video a like to help spread this information, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content. Share this video with friends, especially those who might benefit from this important topic. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you're watching from. For those wanting to delve deeper, stay tuned. A link to our next video will appear on the screen, where you can learn more about optimizing your sexual health in a simple and natural way. Click on the video and continue this journey with us.